Hello and welcome to the Al Monitor Brief. It's Tuesday, May 28th. I'm Kristen Tolman. Over the next few days and weeks, we'll have different sound bites from Ali Hashem, a frequent Al Monitor contributor who is currently in Tehran. Today, there's a soundbite from him on the latest developments. But first, let's get you caught up on the headlines. Flights between Saudi Arabia and Syria resumed on Tuesday for the first time in more than a decade as Damascus reintegrates into the Arab world. Hundreds braved roads in Rafah in South Gaza Tuesday as they fled Israel's expanding ground assault with increased shelling, tanks in the city center, and forces positioned on higher ground. Prince Al-Walid bin Talal, a high-profile Saudi investor, and his business Kingdom Holding Company have invested in Elon Musk's $24 billion startup, XAI, as the kingdom continues to increase its presence in artificial intelligence. United Arab Emirates President Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan arrived in South Korea on Tuesday for a two-day visit that will seek to boost economic and defense ties between the two nations. A civil defense official in the Hamas-run Gaza Strip said an Israeli strike on a displacement camp west of Rafah on Tuesday killed at least 21 people days after a similar strike sparked global outrage. And now onto the main segment. And before we do, let's just set the scene. So after Iran mourned President Abraham Raisi, who died in a helicopter crash, the nation's focus has turned towards the election for his successor. The lead up to the June 28th vote has opened the field to a broad range of hopefuls. The big question now is how many of them will have their candidacies approved by the Guardian Council, a conservative-dominated vetting body. Ultra-conservative Raisi, who had more than a year left of his term, died on May 19th, along with the foreign minister Abdullahian and 6 others when their helicopter crashed. They were laid to rest, and funeral rituals lasted several days that drew huge crowds. The June vote will be held at a turbulent time. The Gaza war rages between Iran's arch enemy Israel and Tehran-backed Palestinian militant group Hamas. Iran has faced sustained economic hardship, in many part by tough sanctions reimposed by the United States after it withdrew from its 2015 nuclear deal. And there's many speculations on who exactly will vote. Media reports have suggested that Raisi's vice president, Mohber, will run, as well as Parliament Speaker and several other prominent former officials. Among other hopefuls, his ultra-conservative former nuclear negotiator, Saeed Jalili, was one of the first to announce his desire to stand. But again, all of these have to go through a vetting process. So let's turn over to Ali Hashem for his view in Tehran.
Well, for now, we don't have any official candidates. Now, we know that there are some people who have the intention to run for the elections. So, for example, Saeed Jalili has a clear intention to run. Understood yesterday that Mohammed Ghalibaf who is the speaker of the parliament, or actually he's running also once again for the parliament speaker probably tomorrow. So he'll be also looking forward to run for the election for the presidential. Also, former Speaker Ali Larijani, who was denied to run last time, wants to run. There are many names. But this is a different election, given the fact it's going to be a very short period for campaigning and for the system to engineer it, because in general the system used to engineer elections. So it's not going to be easy. The second main challenge is going to be the turnout. So whether the turnout. So just in case people are going to, go to the polls, how is this going to happen? If this is supposed to happen, then the system should be opening up and allowing maybe some candidates with nuances, not just the same hardliners, or let me say the conservatives, to be running for the election. So there are many determinants here, but it's a definitive point. It's a turning point, and Personally, I see that there is a project that has fall by the death of Raisi, because Raisi was a project himself as a strong candidate. Maybe there were other candidates, but he was a kind of one of the strongest candidates to succeed the supreme leader. So and over the past years, the whole establishment was actually serving this project. So now with this project getting out of the game, so maybe things are going to change a bit in the country, and this could be actually another turning point, and it could open up for more options.
That's it for today, May 28th. You can read all these stories and more at altmonitor.com.